Good evening to you and welcome to NTV Weekend Edition on this 22nd day of June 2024, which is a day of mixed feelings, grief on some parts, and we also have some encouraging news for you. We take you through the events of the day, what's been happening on the political scene in light of the concerns about the Finance Bill 2024 and the calls for the rejection of the same and more. Stay with us, we begin with the highlights.
Kusema ukweli tuliwachagua ndio mtulie watoto. He's a young guy. Na nilikuwa na expect na matumaini mingi kutoka kwake.
Tear gas canister hit Evans Kiratu's groin and now he is no more. Young Kenyans demand for arrested colleagues and they are taking no prisoners.
As you know,
I don't
know about Billy, bro.
Also tonight, Kenya Kwanza leaders and their proponents begin to feel the consequence of voting yes for the controversial finance bill. The youth say the worst is yet to come. Plus, never again. Judges and magistrates vow to prioritize their security while delivering justice as slain Makadara Principal Magistrate Monica Kivuti is laid to rest. And
shule kifungwa kwa sababu nikienda nyumbani babangu atanichapa na aliniambia nikikuja nyumbani atanikata shingo.
Learners conscripted to the fight against the cut. Anti-FGM clubs in schools on equality tonight.
Live from Nation Center, this is Weekend Edition with Dan Mwangi.
Good evening, and alongside me on the sign language interpretation tonight is Flora Atieno. The family of Evans Kiratu is calling for justice for their kin who succumbed to injuries sustained during the protest against the Finance Bill of 2024 on Thursday here in Nairobi. The 21-year-old was injured in the groin after being struck by a tear gas canister allegedly fired by the police. Kiratu's death occurred a day after the death of Rex Masai, another protester who was shot dead along Mama Ngina Street. Our reporter Margaret Kimathi begins our broadcast tonight.
Evans Kiratu had joined other Kenyans in protesting against the controversial Finance Bill 2024 on Thursday when he met the brute force of the police. The 21-year-old was injured in the groin area after being struck by a tear gas canister, allegedly by the police. According to Chris Monene, who was the first person to save the deceased, he witnessed the act where a tear gas canister exploded on Evans and he fell to the ground. He was rushed to the Kenyatta National Hospital where he succumbed to the injuries.
We took him to Kenyatta National Hospital where we met a huge line actually of around 7 patients who were waiting to be attended to, and that was part and parcel of what actually contributed to this young man's demise, because we tried all our best to add the doctors to come in aid. He was writhing in pain all the way from Kenyatta Avenue to Kenyatta Hospital. He kept on wailing and crying.
Monene recalls Kiratu's last words before breathing his last.
The last thing he was able actually to say, he kept on saying that, please call my mom, and I was able at least to get the number for the mom and at least be able to reach out.
Kiratu's death occurred a day after the death of Rex Masai, another protester who was shot dead by the police. Evans' mother says her son was hardworking while questioning why police officers used live bullets during a peaceful protest.
Sasa naomba tu hata serikali tuambie kusema ukweli tuliwachagua ndio mtulie watoto. He's a young guy na nilikuwa na expect na matumaini mingi kutoka kwake.
What Evans had on his hand was basically a bottle of water and an handkerchief. For how long and how many bodies are we going to collect as a government and continue killing the young people?
The family is now calling for justice while demanding for the arrest of the cop linked to the murder.
We are demanding for justice. He's only 21 years old and he had a future for him, so let justice be sentenced for him.
Kuna shida gani watu kupanda uba kuja demonstration? Kwani demonstration imewekwa kwa watu wa Kibera peke yake na watu wa Mathare na watu wa Kasarani? Hapana. Demonstration imewekwa kwa kila mtu.
This comes even as the Law Society of Kenya condemns the heinous and tragic killing of the two. President of Law Society of Kenya, Faith Odhiambo, demanded the DCI and IPOA to cooperate in their efforts to unmask the perpetrators of those killings within 3 weeks.
Mr. President, we did not vote for you to direct the police to use lethal force.
Yes.
Mr. President, we did not vote for you to bribe the parliamentarians and force the illegal and criminal tax on our neck.
The Law Society of Kenya has further called on police to stop using force on peaceful protesters and act within the law in fulfilling their mandate. Margaret Kimathi, NTV.
Kenyans have unleashed their anger against members of parliament and public officers who are supporting the controversial 2024 finance bill. This week, public places have become hostile for such leaders as citizens heckle and deny them audience, accusing them of betraying Kenyans who have been overburdened with taxes. NTV's political affairs reporter Vincent Oduor tells us more.
Value-added tax.
This week, several politicians and public officers have found themselves in trouble in public places due to their decision to support the bill. Sports and Youth Affairs Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba was booed at the Carnival restaurant when he was given the opportunity to speak to the audience that came to mourn comedian Fred Omondi. He ended up speaking to himself. And Lamu East MP Rueda Obo, in a forum of coastal leaders, was openly scolded for insisting that she approved the bill in Parliament. And Dagoretti South MP John Kiarie was evicted from a funeral. Citizens in different parts of the country have vowed to shun MPs who supported the bill.
Tulishikwa na ghadhabu kwa sababu tulikuwa tunatarajia mtatutetea venye mlikuwa mnatuambia ama vile mlikuwa mnatuambia wakati mlikuwa mnatuomba kura, lakini mumeenda huko bunge mumetugeuka.
Kama youth base saizi hatuna, tumesoma lakini hatuna wera like kazi nyuka tunayo ya mikorofia.
Even on social media platforms, citizens chided the leaders and accused them of not caring about the interests of the people, and even denied the leaders the opportunity to speak in the public meetings on social networks. Not even during the burial of the Makadara Principal Magistrate Monica Kivuti this Saturday were they spared. Mourners demanded to know on how they voted on the bill before they could speak. Fiery Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya has criticized the leaders who supported the bill.
Wala ambao labda wako na akili finyu wanafikiri kwamba ukosoa finance bill tunapiga president. Hapana. Tunasema finance bill ni mbaya kwa sababu naona vile wananchi hapa chini wanahangaika. Mimi naona wabunge wanasema yes. Mtu anasema yes kwa finance bill ambayo inaongeza ushuru na anacheka. He's laughing. Kuna watu watatoka hapa kwenda nyumbani, mama mwenyewe anaomba Mungu ampatie unga tu. Unga apige ugali ili atengeneze maji na chumvi watoto wakule sasa. That is the reality.
Some MPs who supported the bill have had to avoid their constituency offices as well as avoid public meetings. Vincent Oduor, NTV.
And this anger that is being seen both online and offline is pretty palpable, and we know there has been the call for 7 days of rage, today being the second one. This is Saturday, and the guideline or the guidance that has been given to those who were being addressed say that tonight, that's Saturday, 22nd of June, At midnight, all bars and clubs where Gen Z frequent will stop the music to listen to a national crescendo of, quote, Ruto must go and reject finance bill, end of quote. Then tomorrow, that is Sunday the 23rd of June, they say that they will deplatform politicians in church. They say that do not allow any politician who voted yes to speak at your church, and so we shall be monitoring to see how this goes, because as has been the case, especially of late, as was the case in the time of the campaigns, we had politicians taking advantage of church platforms to push their own agenda, as has brought a lot of criticism about politics at the pulpit. And still linked to that, and there still remains a question of where is blogger Billy Simani, who is also known as Crazy Nairobian. That was a question that dominated social media pages or platforms for the better part of Saturday in Kenya, after he was taken away by people who had covered their faces on Friday, according to those who saw this. He was picked from his house in Mwehoko in the county of Nairobi at around 3 p.m. and reports online say that he has since been set free, but not too long ago there has been a rebuttal of the same, and in not too long, Frida Mwaka is going to be giving us the story of what his friends say transpired and what has been the concern around the claims of his release. Now, before we get to that, judges have reiterated calls on the executive and the National Assembly to increase funding to the judiciary in order to boost security for judicial officers. The judges and magistrates were speaking at the funeral of slain Makadara Principal Magistrate Monica Kivuti, who was shot dead during an open court session a week ago. Monica Kivuti was buried at her family farm in Yatta in the county of Machakos.
I think the ones who are still safari yangu tatembea nawe. Ongoze safarini mbele unichukue. I think the ones who are still safari yangu tatembea nawe.
And if you're on X platform, especially alongside all other social media platforms, one of the top trends is about Billy, or some of the hashtags are Free Billy or Where is Billy? Some are actually pointing out about there's no assurance that Billy is free, and we try to look around that issue. You would get to see that there has been some back and forth in terms of the confirmation in regards to Billy Simani, who is also known as Crazy Nairobian. The question is, where is he? That is the question that dominated social media platforms for the better part of Saturday in Kenya, after he was taken away by people who allegedly had covered their faces on Friday. He was picked from his house in Mwehoko in Nairobi County at around 3 p.m. and reports online say that he has since been set free, and that was earlier on, but about an hour ago there was a rebuttal of the same, as Frida Mwaka now tells us.
At 3 p.m. on Friday, Billy Simani, also known as Crazy Nairobian, received 5 visitors, 4 men and 1 woman. According to Rehema, not her real name, she was with Billy in the house at the time of arrest and witnessed the events as they unfolded.
At around 3 p.m., someone knocked at the door. Billy stood up, aka-unlock mlango, akafungua, akaingia. 4 men and a woman.
Rehema says 3 of the men had their faces fully hooded. 1 man and the woman wore face masks. She says the police, who did not identify themselves, were interested in Billy's computer.
The laptop ilikuwa on his study desk hapo hivyo juu. One of the officers saw it, akapoint to it. The other one took it, handed it to the light-skinned officer. wakamuuliza iko wapi simu.
Tulipoelezwa ya kwamba ameshikwa, tuliandamana moja kwa moja hadi ambapo tulikuwa tumeambiwa amewekwa. Tukaambiwa alikuwa DCI headquarters hapa Kiambu Road. Kuangalia huko tukapata hayuko, tukaambiwa kwa Muthaiga police station, ambapo tulipofika kwa kumwangalia tukaambiwa hajakuwa booked.
Earlier today,
sometimes it's not about what you say, it's about what other people say. Sometimes also it's not what is right from your own view. It's because those you lead, what they think is right.
Proponents of the anti-finance bill protest organized an express where they called for the release of Billy.
Where is Billy?
I don't know. Unfortunately,
Billy ako wapi? That's what we want to hear. Kindly.
Osama.
Yes, where is Nairobi?
I know you, of course, but as a matter of fact, I didn't know anything about Billy because, as you know,
where is Billy?
I don't know about Billy, bro.
Dennis Itumbi joined the conversation and announced that Billy would be set free. He said that the blogger had been arrested for breaking the law. Moments later, reports started circulating online that Billy Simani had been set free. This came from Dennis Itumbi's ex account. However, the young people online were clear that they would only believe it and when they saw their comrade, arguing that Itumbi is not one to be believed at face value and that he may have been attempting to put on a heroic show. They also agreed that if Crazy Nairobian was found safe and sound, they would neither thank the blogger nor the government. And as though to validate the critics' reservations, hours later, the State House operative backtracked and announced that Simani was not the individual he had indicated as having been released. He listed 2 other people and joined everyone else in asking where Simani is. But even late afternoon, Billy was still not reachable on phone and had not gotten into contact with his online friends or Rehema. International Committee of Jurists, ICJ, sent out a statement condemning the arrest of Billy and stated it was illegal for the state to hold him incommunicado. Freedom Waka, NTV, Nairobi.
A U.S. non-profit organization is warning against, quote, warehousing refugees by keeping them in camps for ages, saying it prevents host countries from utilizing the talent of those fleeing wars and other forms of danger. The U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigrants warned this week that encampment of refugees is both illegal and inhumane and keeps refugees in a cycle of despair. Rose Wangui reports.
Calls for refugees to be integrated with host communities have been implied this week as the world marked the International Day for Refugees. The U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigrants, USCRI, warns that encampment of refugees is both illegal and inhumane and keeps refugees in a cycle of despair. The U.S. nonprofit warns that warehousing refugees in camps for ages prevents host countries from utilizing the talent of those fleeing wars and other forms of danger. The international organization is working to protect the rights and address the needs of people in forced or voluntary migration globally.
Refugee warehousing is dehumanizing. Yeah, there's no future for any. It's just for 30 years you'll be there. You become second generation refugee, sometimes third generation. It doesn't seem to me a good policy for a human being. You know, these are not criminals. You know.
In Kenya, the government announced on Thursday that it will be granting special status IDs to 700,000 refugees to enable them move around freely, seek jobs, start businesses, or seek education. At Kola Bay Camp in the expansive Kakuma refugee ecosystem, refugees celebrated the International Day for Refugees on June 20th with song and dance. Despite the challenges they face every day, these refugees have beaten the odds to engage in entrepreneurial ventures to rebuild their lives.
We are concerned with regular interruption of budget, CBI, food and Bamba Chakula entitlement.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, Dr. Bernard Mogesa, reminded refugees of their duty to uphold dignity and peace.
Many refugees have risen to be successful entrepreneurs and business owners who are rebuilding their lives, providing for themselves and their families, and giving back to their host communities.
Statistics show that the total number of refugees and asylum seekers in Kenya is 774,370 as of May 31st, 2024, 72% of whom were refugees and 28% were asylum seekers.
At least 6 people have died in a road accident this afternoon after a lorry veered off the road in Timau along Meru Nanyuki Road. According to Buri, West Sub-County Police Commander Laura Imbacha, a truck lost control and hit pedestrians who were on the roadside. The 6 died on the spot, while an unknown number of injured persons were taken to various hospitals for treatment. Bodies of the deceased were taken to Nanyuki General Hospital mortuary for preservation.
On reaching at the location of the accident, the driver lost control. He knocked down several pedestrians and the lorry landed in a ditch. As a result, the 4 male adults were dead, 2 female juveniles died on the spot. Ages, names, and a detailed report to follow. And several pedestrians were rushed to unknown hospitals by good Samaritans. That is all we can say at the moment, but investigations are ongoing.
Let's take a short break on NTV Weekend Edition so we can just breathe. But after that, we'll be coming with a story of empowerment on equality. Stay with us.
You guys watched the game last night?
Of course, on Showmax.
Showmax is on board? Yeah, the Showmax app on your phone. Every Premier League game live for 500 bob a month.
Go serious?
Oh, no, Niambie.
Yes. Match highlights, previews, reviews. Gold Rush, The Righty Show. I love that guy.
And don't forget your documentaries.
And you can rewind and pause any game live.
This is the one game I need us to rewind right now. Let's go.
Bro, I think it's Mike's turn.
Shika the new Showmax app today and get every Premier League game live on your phone for just 500 shillings a month. Shika Showmax, streaming for Africa.
Lego.
You stay soft, add your concentrate. 1. It is 4 times more concentrated. 2. It is packed with 4 times more fragrance. 3. 1 bottle gives you 40 washes. You stay soft, add your concentrate.
Also available in convenient sachets.
Shinda Probox nayo dial *570# chagua option 4 na ujiweke kwenye draw ya kujishindia Probox. Ushindi wako tunautangaza 30th of June. Probox nayo *570#. Tucheze, tusaidie, tushinde.
Cheza Loto Moto. Shinda pesa moto moto.
Imperfections, blackheads. Try Garnier's Pure Active 3-in-1 Charcoal, powered by salicylic acid and purified charcoal to reduce pimple-causing germs by 99.5%. One product, 3 uses for a pure skin. Garnier Pure Active 3-in-1 Charcoal, #1 in South Africa, by Garnier Naturally.
This week on Cars with Big Boy Trev, we preview the next generation Isuzu MU-X, now sharper and capable than ever before. Question is, can it hold its forte against the likes of the Ford Everest and the Toyota Fortuner? And finally, we check out Kia's feisty crossover, the Seltos. We check out its design, technology features, performance, safety, and practicality. Catch this and much more on Cars with Big Boy Trev this Sunday at 5 p.m. only on NTV.
To register or book an exhibition space, visit the website or contact Anastasia on 0719 488 767 and Patrick on 0719 395 824.
Welcome back. Now, a new unique program to fight harmful cultural traditions has been introduced in schools across the country. The initiative involves anti-FGM health clubs in schools where the illegal practice is rampant. Here, students use songs and drama to intensify the campaign against the cut and early forced marriages. The clubs have also trained students to become active anti-FGM champions in their respective communities. Here's Rose Wangui with this week's Equality.
Joyce, not her real name, is 12 years old. Her dreams were almost shattered when her mother told her that she had grown old enough to be circumcised. This, she learned, was meant to prepare her for marriage life. That was way back in March 2023.
Mamangu alikuwa ameniambia lazima ukeketwe. Na mimi nikamwambia mimi siwezi keketwa. Nitaenda polisi. Akaniambia utakeketwa. Nikafika usiku. Nikapakwa udongo, nikanyolewa. Sasa kufika saa 3 venye watu huwa wanapanga, nikamwambia mamangu acha niende choo. Nikaenda nikapata msichana mwingine wa grade 4. Nikamwambia twende unipeleke nitoroke. Tukatoroka.
Joyce sought refuge at a rescue center run by the Catholic Church. She's currently a grade 7 pupil at Oldonyiro Primary School in Isiolo County. Every evening after class, she returns to the rescue center housing many other girls.
Nakaa kwa shelter shule ikifungwa kwa sababu nikienda nyumbani babangu atanichapa na aliniambia nikikuja nyumbani atanikata shingo. Naogopa nikienda nyumbani naweza olewa na naweza keketo bado. Mama saizi tu ananielewa mimi. Sasa yeye akitaka kukuja kunitembelea mimi anakuja ananitembelea. Alafu hata kama yeye saizi hata amerefuka.
Margaret, whose name has been changed to protect her identity, has lived at the shelter for 7 years. She was only 9 years old when her father attempted to marry her off.
Babangu alikuwa ameniambia utakeketwa alafu uosu. Kwa ajili ukienda shule nitakulaani. Sasa ujue nilikuwa naogopa hiyo na mamangu tena vile alikuwa ananiambia nisitoroke kwa ajili nitalaaniwa.
She ran away from home and sought refuge at the shelter.
Nikaamka saa 10 ya usiku, nikatoroka, nikakuja mission. Babangu akatuma harani wanikujie wanirudishe huko nyumbani. Akanikujia. Mimi nikapelekwa hadi nyumbani. Ikafika saa 10 tena. Nikakuja tena nikafika kwa father.
Margaret swears that nothing will ever come between her dream to become a teacher. She's now at grade 8 and is hoping to study all the way to university and beyond. Margaret notes that the center has changed her life and makes her feel safe and peaceful.
Hawa wakunionyesha ile kama wanionyeshe kama wananipenda. Ujue sasa vile hata wakuji kuniona si inamaanisha bado wanipendi. Nikasema kabla niende huko hata nikae mission, nimalize shule, hata ndo nisiende huko kwa ajili nitaenda huko niozwe.
The stories of Joyce and Margaret represent a growing trend of girls in Isiolo County opposing child marriage and female genital mutilation. Girls at risk have mastered the art of running away from FGM, and others do not want to be wives just yet. All they want is a chance to pursue an education for a better life in future.
No to FGM! No to FGM!
This boldness stems from empowerment initiatives like the Anti-FGM Club that was launched at the school 3 years ago.
We have seen positive effects on improvement on girls running away from home, running away from FGM, and they come to school and we usually assist them. And we follow a certain procedure which we include the administrators, police stations, chiefs, and village elders and the parents.
The club has a membership of over 200 girls and boys members. The goal is to educate the pupils about the dangers of FGM and the legal prohibitions against it.
Mimi nilirafika kwa sababu nilijua rights zangu, nikajua kuolewa ni mbaya na kukeketwa ni mbaya. Kwa sababu kikeketwa siku ya kuzaa utakufa ama mtoto akufe. Msasi nataka kutairi ndeza toroka kwa polisi.
Some years back, the girls were very few in the classes. Some classes, girls are many than boys. We have an evidence in our office that girls have now realized their rights and they have run away from FGM and other bad practices from our community, even early marriage. Because if the girl is circumcised, means that the girl is ready to be married.
These anti-FGM clubs operate in 21 schools across the vast region.
There is an impact, and also there is a need to continue sensitizing the community, the stakeholders, like now the chiefs, the administration, and also you continue having workshops in schools, mentor many teachers also, so that they can mentor the young ones.
The initiative has also been replicated in various schools within Narok County. At Suswa Girls Secondary School, students have been taking part in a campaign against the practice, singing songs urging their parents to stop FGM and let them live their own lives freely. According to the data from the Kenya Anti-FGM Board, FGM prevalence in Narok County has reduced from 78% in 2014 to 51% in 2022. To further protect girls, an anti-FGM health club was initiated in 2021.
Congratulations, madam. Yes, you become a grandma.
The girls are using songs and drama to intensify the campaign against FGM and child marriage.
We want people, even those that are not literate, those that never went to school, to get the message about FGM is not good, together with other harmful cultural practices. So we even do them in Maasai ways. We just use any language that can make people to get the message.
Come in this house without that teamwork.
Through this program, girls undergo leadership training skills that enable them to become advocates against FGM. They learn peer-to-peer support, decision-making and sexual reproductive health rights. The girls also learn their rights, the legal stance against FGM and its medical repercussions.
When girls undergo a CAD, they really drop out of school because you are being told now you are a grown woman, you can perform a duty that your mother can do. So you are told you go, you look for a husband, or if you don't want to look for a husband, your parents themselves bring you a husband. I have seen a positive change because nowadays the school we don't record pregnancy cases at all. Especially this year we have been tested for pregnancy, but none of the girls was found to be pregnant.
They then spread this information to not only their friends and family, but also community members.
Get the full story on ntvkenya.co.ke on tonight's Equality. To take a short break, but after that, Bernard Ndong takes you through the latest in sports. Stay with us.
With partners to conserve our country's natural resources, including watersheds that provide clean water to millions, fertile soil to grow crops, mangroves that absorb carbon and protect our coastlines, and wildlife that fuels our tourism industry. We're building on more than a decade of successful partnerships for conservation in Kenya for people and nature. Learn more at nature.org/Kenya. Together, we find a way.
Kenya, twende mbele. NCBA. Go for it.
Nivea Pearl and Beauty Deodorant. The perfect balance of 48-hour protection and care for soft, smooth, and beautiful underarms. Try our new Pearl and Beauty Black Pearl for smooth and perfumed underarms.
Did you know that malaria is a top 10 cause of death in Kenya, with over 10,000 Kenyans dying every year from malaria? And the reason being a mosquito. We believe protection and prevention is the best cure in the fight to end malaria. Mortein Doom, with its trusted formulation. It provides protection in seconds. So spread the Mortein Doom message of how we, you and I, can fight to end malaria. Mortein Doom, Kenya's #1 choice.
Hello there, it's time for the sports update. Good evening, I'm Bernard Ndong. Ulinzi Sharks are the new national handball champions after destroying their opponents Nairobi Water 30-27 in a pulsating encounter that was played at the Nyayo National Stadium outdoor court. Sarah Wasiki and her teammate Dorothy Machuma were the leading scorers for the Sharks as they scored 11 and 8 goals respectively. Coach Victor Otieno's team was on top of proceedings in the first half as they took a 17-10 lead before the break. In the second half, the Sharks overwhelmed Nairobi Water and stripped them of their title for the first time in the last 10 years as they romped to a 30-27 win. In the men's division, champions National Cereals Produce Board, NCPB, defended their title by defeating Ulinzi 30-25.
We are very happy. We have been training for it, and I thank God we have achieved. Zenye zimebaki sasa ni Super Cup. Na Super Cup pia wajue haitakuwa rahisi. We are going for the Super Cup trophy. We have been training all about our defense and our conversion. Because first leg defense yetu ililegea kidogo, but leo imekuwa solid ambapo tumeweza kuwa counter.
Normally the team with few mistakes ndio ina carry the day. Na leo tumekuwa na mistakes mingi. So kudos to KDF because wamekuwa na mistakes few and it has helped them to carry the trophy.
The National Women's Rugby Sevens team stepped closer to qualifying for the Olympics after a hard-fought 19-7 victory of Argentina at the repechage tournament that was played in Monaco. Janet Okello gave Kenya an early lead, slicing past the South American defense to score between the uprights. Fresh Odor added the extras for a slim 7-0 lead. Argentina restored parity when Marianela Escalante touched down for a converted try. The Lionesses clawed back to the lead when Judith Okumu scored their second try. The two sides were level for the second time in the match when Maria Brigido scored for Argentina. Fresh Odor rescued victory from the jaws of a draw with a winning try to secure Kenya a spot in the quarter-final. In a twist of fate, the Lionesses will face the South Americans once again in the last stage at 11:18 a.m. on Sunday. And staying with women's sports, the Kenya Junior Starlets will know their opponents at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup when the draw is conducted tonight at the Fray Anton de Montesinos Monument in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic at midnight. That's about 30 minutes after midnight. Kenya is part of 4 countries who will be making their debut in the tournament, together with the hosts, Poland and Ecuador. The Junior Starlets made history last weekend when they beat Burundi 5-1 on aggregate to become the first team in Kenyan football history to ever qualify for any World Cup tournament. Nigeria and Zambia, on their part, and the other African representatives will be part of the 16 nations set to participate in the 8th edition, which will begin on the 16th of October to the 3rd of November. Elsewhere, Gor Mahia will officially receive their trophy at the Machakos Stadium when the league concludes tomorrow. Kogalo will face Bidco in their final clash. Elsewhere, the battle for the Golden Boot will intensify with South Sudanese international and Kenya Police forward Tito Okello targeting to dislodge Kogalo's Benson Omala from the summit of the goal-scoring charts. Okello has 16 goals, that is 1 shy of Omala, who has 17 ahead of the match against the Kariobangi Sharks.
I know I can score. I will score. I will score in the last game. I don't know how many. It's only God who knows to confirm it. So, inshallah, I will score. Actually, my target was for 15 goals. I came with a target like I have to, like a season at least I finish with 15 goals, and inshallah, I know I didn't have a good start. I was a little bit struggling in the first round. I only scored 3 goals, and then coming back scoring 13 goals in second round. So actually I've scored 20 goals for the team, and I think I'm still in the race for the Golden Boot in both Mozart Cup and the Premier League. We had a lot of up and down in the team, coaches coming in, coaches going out. The other coach may be using different tactic, this one come with a different tactic, so in between it also delayed us, not only me, it delayed the whole team because we lost a lot of points during that time. So when we came in with Coach Salim, the team settled.
Let's focus on athletics, where World Road Running half-marathon bronze medalist Catherine Reline and James Kipkoech are the winners of the 4th edition of the Moi Kapsowar Charity and Conservation Half-Marathon that was held Saturday in Kapsowar, Elgeyo Marakwet County. Reline clocked 1 hour, 11 minutes and 40 seconds to edge out former Frankfurt Marathon champion Valerie Ayabei, who came in second, while Naomi Jebet came in third. In the men's category, James Kipkoech broke from the leading pack at the 15 kilometers mark before cutting the tape in 1 hour, 2 minutes. He finished ahead of Kalibas Lomwal, and who came in second, as Abraham Kiptum finished in third.
Sikuwa na nia ya kubeba race, kwa nakuja tu na pace yangu. Kufika mahali nikaona mwili ikakubali ikapika, ndio nikaamua nikaondoka. Competition haiko rahisi sababu mimi nilikuwa nikitoka off season, hii ni race yangu ya kwanza.
Ilikuwa tough for the first 10k, behind 10k, pia last year, nilikimbia last year nikakuwa number 2, this year nikamanage kuchukua position 1. Hii race iko sawa kabisa, nimeipenda.
Over to Europe, where Portugal maintained their aura of invincibility as they made it 2 wins in 2, sealing a convincing 3-0 win against Turkey at the Signal Iduna Park in the Euro 2024 Championship to qualify for the last 16 round. Portugal fans were on their feet celebrating the opening goal after 21 minutes, thanks to Bernardo Silva, who tucked in the ball in the net after Turkey. And that's it in the world of sports.
All right, that's it for NTV Weekend Edition as well. And we thank you for watching us. And I've seen some feedback on some of the stories we've done, including the one about Billy. And as we put out on our X platform, that he has been court released, which was an allegation, not to say that he's been released, because as we said in the story that Freedom Walker did, he is yet to be found, and he is yet to, people are yet to know where he actually is. And this also got State House operative Dennis Itumbi on the wrong side of everyone who says that he gave false hope, and they were skeptical about his commitment, and it has pretty much come to pass. But remember, after NTV Weekend Edition, we have 12 minutes, and on Saturdays, it's sports-themed. Ndong, what is it about?
Now, some people would say we are twins to some extent because of our hairstyle. Of course, the manner in which we shave. But one thing is fascinating is the fact that when it comes to identical twins, they share a very special bond. Now, that connection is sometimes perceived as telepathic. This gift from nature has played some sort of role in influencing the performance of two sets of twins competing in two different sports. Tonight, it's all about seeing double on 12 Minutes with Steve Kiter after this news broadcast.
Thanks for joining us, ourselves and Flora Atieno, who's been on the sign language interpretation. Have yourselves a great night.
This is NTV.
Mortein Doom, with its trusted formulation, it provides protection in seconds. So spread the Mortein Doom message of how we, you and I, can fight to end malaria.
Mortein Doom, Kenya's #1 choice.
The new KCB mobile loan is unbelievably flexible and incredibly affordable. You can now borrow up to 1 million Kenya shillings from as low as 1.2% as a 1-day, 7-day, 14-day, 30-day loan, or enjoy a longer-term period of up to 1 year at competitive rates. Dial *522# or apply on the KCB app today. The KCB mobile loan, unbelievably flexible, incredibly affordable. KCB, for people, for better. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya.
The Kenya Academy of Sports will host its 4th International Sports Conference from the 24th to 26th of June under the theme Monetization of Sports Talent, Talanta Hela, at the Glee Hotel in Nairobi. Key speakers to grace the event include Aaron Aslop from the Australian Institute of Sports, Professor John Sproul, Edinburgh University, and Vice Chancellor Kisii University, Professor Nathan Ogechi. Topics to be covered include sports talent development, athlete financial management, and climate change in sports. To register or book an exhibition space, visit the website or contact Anastasia on 0719 488 767 and Patrick on 0719 395 824.
This month on EdTech Mondays Kenya, we're interested in learning what is the state of EdTech in the frontier counties, what work is being done, and how far have we come.
So we don't want to confront the real issues. We want to stay in our comfort zones.
Our teachers, in the main, are digital immigrants. Our learners are, in the main, digital natives.
Learning should not be confined in the four walls of the classroom as the traditional way. Like learning should continue despite any kind of disruption.
Join us this Monday, 7:30 p.m. on NTV as we explore this exciting discussion.
This is NTV.
Identical twins are known to share a special kind of connection that sometimes goes beyond what can be considered normal. Cases of twins scoring similar marks in KCPE or same grades in KCSE are not unheard of in Kenya. But have you ever encountered identical twins who share a passion for a same sport? If not, worry not, because in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to share with you an incredible and interesting story of two sets of twins whose special connection has seen them excel in sports. My name is Steve Keter, and this is The Special Bond in 12 minutes.
I'm the eldest, yeah. With some hours.
Minutes. Minutes.
Alice Aoko Owiti and Maureen Auma Owiti are both members of the National Hockey Women's Team. The duo also turn up for the Kisumu Best Lakers Hockey Club. We caught up with them during a training session at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Sports Complex. Here, we shall call them the Owiti twins. Apart from a slightly different hairstyle, nothing else tells them apart. Their teammates and coach admits that it took them a while before they were able to differentiate them.
Yes, now if I speak to now, 6 years down the line, it's pretty easy for me to differentiate. But when we started, it took me almost 1 year, because I used to see them only every 3 months or 3 to 4 months a year for 2 weeks. Then they go back to school. So each and every time I used to call them in for training, I will gamble and call Alice, Maureen. So whoever responds to the call, sometimes they'll play me. Alice will say yes when I'm calling Maureen, and Maureen will say yes when I'm calling Alice. But eventually I came to realize, because they have different features, they're almost athletic, this is figure, all of them, same fitness level. But if you look at body size, if you're keen, you'll see that one is big and the other one.
Personally, I was not able to differentiate them, but with time now I know them. Even the body size, they have changed a bit.
For the first time, I was unable to differentiate between the two of them, but with time, I managed to differentiate, and now I can differentiate with Maureen and with Alice.
The Owiti twins were born on March 5th, 2000 in Kisumu County, and it was in their high school years at Sinyolo Girls that the duo picked up hockey.
I didn't do my mock exam. Yeah, that's why I repeated class 7. So that's where Alice joined Sinyolo Girls in 2014. 2014 I was in class 8. So I joined Sinyolo, I found Alice playing hockey. That was 2015. I played football for the first year when I was in Form 1. I played football, but despite playing football, I had interest in hockey, since hockey was a very new game for me. So I wished to at least try a new game. Then I joined hockey when I was in Form 2, and that's the way I joined the first team. I played hockey from Form 2 to Form 4.
We picked them for the league in Form 3, and they used to play for the club during their vacations. Their structure, they're tall, their height advantage, their reach is good, and also they learn quick. They pick skills pretty quick compared to their counterparts.
Alice was the first to get a national team call-up while still a student at Masinde Muliro University. Her sister Maureen would also follow up later.
I did my Form 4 in 2018. Then I joined Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology. I played there. I was given a scholarship playing hockey there. After finishing my Form 4, is when I joined the national team in 2019, where we went to the All Africa Games in South Africa. Yeah, from there I've never moved from the national team. I'm still in the national team. The truth is, in every game you play, you have to have a role model. You just pick one of your more role model, then yani unaiga tabia zake, unaona. So my first person is my sister. So she always encouraged me about the game. I don't lose hope, everything. Yeah, she wants us to make our family proud. I'm proud of her because we are at least lifting our family name high, because wherever we go, you just hear Owiti. Our father is very proud of us.
With years of playing together and a deep understanding of each other, the Owiti twins have forged an incredible chemistry over the years.
Okay, personally, I feel like I know moves za Maureen more than najua moves za maybe my captain. So unapata labda that time that I have the ball, I just know that Maureen is in this place. Hata ama atakimbia this place, atakuwa ananipea that support. Unajua like kwa hockey, it's just like football. After passing the ball, you offer the support. Juu kama hujampea support, atapeleka hii ball wapi? Lazima create space na upeane support. So for Maureen, she does that to me.
Okay, the truth is, can you forget your sister's sound or moves? No? So that's why.
Sometimes, the two use their resemblance as a tactic against their opponents.
Because let's say, for example, I'm playing in the midfield, and Maureen is playing in the defense. Maybe I can get tired. We can just switch. So they don't know who is this, and we were taking that advantage. Sometimes we just find ourselves in front. yeah, if you want to score, we just move 1-2, then you go and score.
I must accept that this is a niche that we have in our club, and it will be my willing, because I've learned the benefit of having a twin in the club, it will be my wish if I could have a second pair. We are looking forward to that.
Although they both studied at Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology in Kakamega County, the two studied courses that led them to different career paths. Alice pursued a bachelor's degree in education arts and is now a teacher at Tenwek Boys High School in Bomet County. Her sibling Maureen studied social work and community development at the university. She is now a volunteer social worker in Vihiga County. However, they meet every weekend for training.
But we are just okay with the job separation because we meet during the weekends. I can live here and go to visit her in Bale. She comes to Bomet. Yeah.
From Kisumu to Uasin Gishu County, at the Kipchoge Keino Stadium in Eldoret, we encounter another pair of identical twins. And just like the Owiti twins, the only thing that seems to tell them apart is a slightly different hairstyle. This is Purity Kajuju Gitonga and Caroline Makande Gitonga. Here, we'll refer to them as the Gitonga twins.
Imekuwa safari mzuri tukiwa na twin sister yangu juu sijui kama angekuwa a part of it, sijui vile ingekuwa. Pia my dad anatuinspire sana na anapenda kuona tukikimbia sana, lakini akona ile huruma, anaonanga ni kama tutachoka, sijui tukae nini. Tunaambia tunakimbia, tunachoka, unapumzika, unakuwa sawa, wanakuanga so happy. Kwanza mama kila time anaambia babangu, unajua walichukua hii kutoka kwangu, nilikuwa pia mimi nakimbia. So hii walichukua kutoka kwangu. Yes.
The Gitonga twins were born on 12th May 1996 in Meru County, and it is when they were in high school that Caroline convinced her sister that they could take up athletics as a career.
She was really into running. Alikuwa anapenda sana kukimbia, akaniambia tunaweza kimbia. Kuna wakati mmoja nilikuwa nakimbia, natoka anambia mimi sitakimbia, ananiambia hapana tunaweza kimbia. Nilikuwa naona akikimbia bio sa high school, anafika nationals, nafika regionals, na mimi nimechoka siendi. Yeye ndio alikuwa ananiambia tutaenda mpaka nationals next time, tunafika mpaka nationals. So yeye ndiye alikuwa ananimotivate sana. Kuna michezo ya watoto tulikuwa I don't know ile naweza ita kwa Kiswahili. Tulikuwa tunakimbizana na watoto like hakuna mwenye angetushika.
The two would then relocate their training to Iten in Elgeyo Marakwet County, as they hope to sharpen their talent and become top professional athletes. And as it turns out, the two draw inspiration from the same top Kenyan athletes.
Kwanza kabla tuanze kukimbia tulikuwa tunataka kuwa kama Vivian Cheriot. Tukiwa shule tunaona vile Vivian Cheriot anakimbia, tukaanza kukimbia, tunajiambia tunataka kuwa kama yeye. Alafu kuna msichana mwingine anaitwa Ellen Obiri, pia yeye anatuinspire sana. They are so amazing ladies, so disciplined, and yes.
The twins say they are each other's #1 supporters and encourage each other.
After my last race in Italy, I've been injured, nilikuwa na tendon, and nilikuwa naongea na sister yangu, namwambia it's getting serious. I think I can choose something else to do, or because it's almost 5 to 6 months injury na iponi, but she was encouraging me. I have to be patient, and yeah, I don't have to give up.
The Gitonga twins specializes in middle and long distance races from 5 kilometers to half marathons. And as fate would have it, the two always post identical results. Case in point, the last year's Baka Osterlauf 10 kilometers road race held in Hamburg, Germany. Purity clocked 30 minutes and 57 seconds to win, as her sister came in second in 31 minutes and 15 seconds. A few weeks later, the duo took part in the Udinese half marathon in Italy, where they replicated the same results.
Tukiwa tunakimbia mbio moja, kuna challenge kubwa, tu anataka anipite, anataka akuwe number 1, nataka nimpite, so inakuwa fun, na so far imekuwa mzuri, na nafurahia sana juu tunakimbia pamoja. It's really tough juu tulikuwa na some Kenyans and also some Ethiopians, but tulingangana tukapush na sistangu until 9 kilometer. She was really strong for the kicking. The 1 kilometer akaenda and nikakuja position 2. Yes, so alinipush sana and it's really nice. I think I'll be asking my manager tuwekange race moja because tukiwa pamoja tuna push sana.
Whether through shared adventures, mirrored achievements, or deep unspoken understanding, the bond between identical twins is not just about their identical appearance, but also about an uncanny emotional and psychological connection. Steve Geter, NTV.
Identical twins are known to share a special kind of connection that sometimes goes beyond what can be considered normal.
This is NTV.
The moment I feel my pain starting to fade, it's like I'm going back to myself on a really good day.